Hi everyone, welcome to the Seller Network series. We're going to get started soon. So in 1 minute time, we're going to get started. Get yourself settled, get some drinks. We're going to get started soon. Okay, warm welcome to everyone. Thanks for taking time to join us on this Seller Network series. First of all, I'd like to actually hope that everyone is staying safe and doing well during this circuit breaker period. So as you can see today, we're actually having another edition of the Seller Network series, and the topic is simplifying accounting. So I believe regardless what kind of business you are, you could be a individual online seller starting your business, going into a small business enterprise, or even a company growing in size. Accounting could be always be a pain point for you because it's essential to have a actually good and smooth accounting software and practices to make sure that all your invoices, all your sales are properly reconciled. So today, we are actually very happy to have Xero, one of our partners, to come share with you more about themselves, how their solution could help you actually simplify the whole accounting software and actually help you save costs and save time. So let me just go show you what's the agenda. So this is what's going to happen today. It's going to be a 1 hour webinar where we dive deep into accounting. So what's going to happen is Xero will be sharing with you about themselves, how their software can help you and like overcome any pain points you might face. Followed by that, actually, Xero will be doing a live demo to show you about their platform, also how it works, how easy it is to use them. And lastly, as for those world first clients, if you don't know, we are actually already integrated with Xero. And today I'm actually going to quickly show you how you can actually get connected to Xero within like 3 to 4 clicks inside your world first platform. And lastly, we're going to have a Q&A, a quick Q&A session with Xero. So during this whole presentation, if you have any questions that you want to ask either WordFirst or Xero, just pop it into the Q&A box. You will actually see a Q&A box at your Zoom panel. Just put it in there. We'll be picking up the questions. And then when the presentations are done, we actually address all these questions and give you an answer for that. And then last but not least, we're going to, for Wolfers End, I'm going to share some quick updates as well to you guys. So also to share with you, this whole webinar will be recorded, so don't worry. If you miss out anything, it'll be recorded and shared to you after the webinar. So with that, I'm actually going to pass on the screen time to Julian from Xero. So over to you, Julian.
Hey, thanks so much, Stanley. Thank you for inviting Xero into this webinar. Thank you, WordFirst, as well. It's truly an awesome integration with us. We really look forward to a greater partnership. So right now, let me just share my screen with everybody. And if you can see my screen here, I would like everyone to, there's a raise your hand button at the bottom of the screen. Can you please raise your hand if you can see my screen? Cool, awesome. Stanley, you can see my screen as well, right? Okay, so let me introduce myself as well as Xero a little bit. My name is Julian. I am the small business evangelist for Xero in Asia. So what I do is I speak to business owners here and basically to help them to understand why is it important to digitalize their business, going online for their accounting, because that's what you are doing right now. If you look at your mobile phone, you have your WhatsApp, you have your WeChat, you have your Instagram, Facebook, and all these are cloud solutions that you use on a day-to-day basis. And what myself and Xero is trying to do here is that we encourage businesses to go online because this gives you so much connectivity, especially in the current situation with COVID. You want to be able to work from home. Going forward, if you're working mothers, you realize that you really don't need to go to office too often because you're able to assess your financial health. You're able to know your cash flow on your fingertips online. All right. So this is who we are in the market. Xero, we are a listed company in Australia. So we are publicly listed. We have businesses across 180 countries. In fact, we have 2 million businesses across 180 countries. And of course, we do have over 200 plus financial institutions and banks partnering with us as well. So this includes in Singapore context, we are partnering with DBS, UOB, HSBC, and OCBC Bank. So this bank partnership I will share with you during my demonstration shortly. At the same time, we are also proud to say that we are connected to WordFirst here. So again, this is some financial service institutions that allows you to do your your FX transactions, and Xero comes into play to be integrated with them so they can manage your cash flow. All right. We are also integrated with 800 plus applications in the market. So this could be your HR solutions. This could be your point of sale software if you're running a retail business, for example. And all this can come to play to give you a well-rounded ecosystem to run your business. So how many business owners do we have today? Do we have a good range of business owners? So every business owners, you probably want to make sure that you know these 4 questions on hand, right? The answer for these 4 questions. How much do you owe? What do you owe? Who do you owe? And how much money do you have in the bank account without probably logging into iBanking all the time? You want to know whether you are making a profit for your business, and whether, what are some of the people who are still owing you money, and when would money coming in? Because all this will help you to manage your cash flow better. In fact, 84% of the businesses fail in the first 5 years due to poor cash flow management. And the reason why they are poor in cash flow management is because they are unable to understand their financial position on a day-to-day basis. Okay. So before I go to probably a demonstration or share with you some pain points here, business owners always concerned about time. They do not want to spend too much time on accounting. To them, it's a chore. But through Xero itself, you are doing your accounting on a day-to-day basis. You get not just time to manage your profitability of your business, you get time to actually spend time with family as well, which is a key challenge that some of the business owners are facing nowadays. And then cash flows as well. They want to have better access to cash flow. This comes in very hand in hand with what World First is doing as well, where we want to make sure that you have better cash flow on hand to work on. Xero, we can't be like a bank where we lend you money, all right? Even though we are connected to all these banks. But what Xero here can do for you is that we are here to help you to get paid faster. So in my demonstration shortly, I'll also be sharing with you how you can get paid faster on Xero as well, all right? And of course, how you can build a better customer relationship and how you can have a better software experience. This is how some of the business are actually managing their finances, all right? So if you are running a business and you're using software like MYOB, this is what you're probably facing, all right? You probably send out your email, your invoices through a paper format like Excel or PDF. You have a whole shoeboxes of receipts that you put into it, and then you pass to your accountant at the end of the month. So this is a very familiar sight in Singapore, actually. So you might want to take note. This will not give you a very good idea on the finances. And then, of course, you probably use Excel to manage your finances. You only see your financial statements at the end of the month or end of the quarter. So if you only see your financial quote at the end of the month or your financial position at the end of the quarter, you can never manage your cash flow better. So this is something that we really want businesses to move ahead. This is why IMDA, this is why Enterprise Singapore has been saying that, hey, businesses should go online here. This is something that probably relates a lot, because when I was running my business in the past, this is what I do. I print out my bank statements on my right-hand side, and then on my left-hand side, I have an Excel spreadsheet that I basically put in my details. And you realize that this is, number one, error-prone. Number two, I only do this on a week-by-week or month-to-month basis. It doesn't give me a good understanding for my business. And of course, managing of some of the receipts and your invoices and bills as well. If you are using a desktop or paper format, paper transactions, you realize that your transactions can always get faded very easily, get lost very easily, get damaged very easily. In this case, you lose your receipts, or you lose your invoices, or you lose your bills. So all this is actually very common scenarios that you face. And going online basically means that we are able to steer away from all this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump out my PowerPoint, and I'm going to share with you my PowerPoint, my Xero page, but I can share with you a demo on what Xero looks like and how it can basically help your finances, as well as what happens, what does it mean when you have Workforce connected with Xero as well. Okay, so I have a question here by Selvaraj, talking about some grants for OCBC. I'll probably talk about this at the end of the session. All right. Next up, like I mentioned, I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint screen. I'm going to go up to my Xero screen here, just to share with you what Xero looks like here, as well as how you can manage your finances better through Xero. Okay. Stanley, can you help me a little bit to let me know whether you are looking at my my Chrome, my Microsoft Chrome?
Yep, I'm looking at your Microsoft Chrome, Google, sorry, your Xero dashboard. Is that the right one?
Awesome. Cool,
Yep.
good one. So everyone, you can see that when I say that Xero is built on the cloud, this means that so long as you got the internet, so long as the Wi-Fi, you're able to log into Xero. You can also access to Xero through an app that you download from Google Play or App Store. So from here, first and foremost, Xero gives you unlimited number of users. So this means that, you know, be it your accountant, your salesperson, your auditors, all of them can be coming into the Xero platform to understand your financial cash flow, provided you give them certain permissions. Okay, so as you can see here, I probably want to do a demonstration to you to see what a real-time dashboard looks like. Okay, Xero is connected with the banks. In Singapore, we are connected with DBS, UOB, HSBC, and OCBC Bank. In Hong Kong itself, we are partnering with Hang Seng Bank, HSBC Bank, and DBS Bank as well. So if you are partnering with, you are working with one of our partners' banks itself, your bank transactions can come into Xero every morning. So before 9 a.m., I'm able to see that, hey, I know that I have $8,315 in my bank account. At the same time, if I click into reconcile 27 items, I'm able to see the transactions that comes in my bank account every morning. So I'll take a look at this later. And I can see that, you know, my balance in Xero, it's, you know, 760. So this means that, you know, I probably need to do some bank reconciliation, which I'll go through shortly. Xero gives you a very basic account watch list here. So this will show you what each of the accounts are performing this month, year to date. You can customize what you want to see because you want to know how are each of your accounts performing. Okay, and of course, other than bank accounts here, you can connect your WordFirst account to Xero too. So you're able to see your balance in the WordFirst account. Any transaction that come into your WordFirst, it will reflect in Xero within the same hour. Every hourly, it will refresh this. So this will give you a very good insight to how, whether you have received payments from to your bank account or to your WordFirst account, and you can manage cash flow here. So you're also able to see, you know, based on the invoices that I sent out, how many invoices are owed to you. I can see that I have $6,946 that's overdue. I need to start chasing people for money. Xero also helps you to, you know, chase up your bills as well. So your bills that you need to pay, you have 5 overdue bills that you need to pay. This amount to $4,754. Again, I think from a nutshell here, what I want to show you is that, you know, because I know how much money I have in my bank account, I know how much money I have in my WordFirst account, I know that, hey, I probably have enough money to fulfill my 5 overdues here, 4,754. But if I want to probe deeper, because I got the real-time data, I could probably think that, hey, I can't fulfill this $8,364 because this is awaiting payments here, and this is not what I have in my bank account. I only have 900 plus euro, and I only have, you know, 8,000 plus in my bank account here, my corporate bank account. So this means that, you know, next thing I will probably do is to start calling my accountant and calling my bankers to say that probably I need to, you know, get some financing for the banks, or I can make sure that I start chasing all the 5 overdues. All right, these 5, if I will probably right click this, open a new tab and see when are these 5 overdues coming in and who are they from. So this will help me to get basically better financing on my business here. All right, so Xero allows you to do things like your invoicing, your quotations, your purchase orders, your bills, for example. And I think on this occasion, you know, business owners like to get money. So I'm just going to show you how you can create a quick invoice on Xero. You can create this again on Google Play or App Store. You're able to send this out through your mobile phone, which basically saves a lot of time here. And I believe that I have a Janice in today's session. So today I'm going to invoice Janice something, probably due in, you know, 30 days time. So I wouldn't know how many days it is. Let Xero calculate 30 days for me. I can attach certain file if I want to. And Xero is basically giving you multi-currency subscription. So you can choose what currencies you want to start invoicing. And because we are doing this in Singapore, I can start invoicing Jenny something in my inventory. So I have some inventory items here that I've pre-created. Could be some t-shirts here that I can start, you know, sending to Janice. And because Xero, we have, you know, we have a good integration in Singapore. So if you're starting Xero in Singapore, you can see that there's a GST 7% in your tax here. Okay, but on this occasion, I'm just make it simple. I'm just going to make sure there's no tax because I do have audiences from Hong Kong, I have audiences from Malaysia as well. So I'm just going to put this as no tax. Okay, so Xero note shows me that I only have 5 t-shirts on hand. I can't sell more than 5. I'm going to sell Janice 3 t-shirts. And of course, if you're a service-based business, you can probably put in some free tax as well. So what I'll probably want is like, you know, today's Xero X WordFirst webinar. So, you know, I can say that this is a chargeable session today. So this session, it's $1 million. So Janice, I'll send you my bank account. Remember to transfer this $1 million to me, all right? So from here, what I can do is, depending on my level of permission, I can always save this as a draft or submit it for approval. And if you're business owners, I can approve this straight away. And the moment I approve this, Xero recognize that I have this invoice that's going to sit with me awaiting for Janice to pay me. And once Janice pay me into my bank account or to my WordFirst account, what's going to happen next is that it will reflect in my Xero screen, and I'll be able to manage that better. So I think, rather than comparing this to Excel spreadsheet, for example, you have to manually come up with this. On Xero itself, you can send this out immediately. So I'm going to just show you how it looks like if I'm going to send this out to myself. And I'm going to send this out. So this is a pre-draft email with all the amount and the first names and everything customized. And once I send this out immediately, probably within the next 10 seconds, if I refresh my inbox, I'll probably be able to see that the invoice has already come in. Yeah, of course, it might take some time. Once the invoice comes in, I'm just going to show you how it looks like so that you have a better understanding on what your customer will be seeing if you send this out invoice to customer. So it came in immediately, and what it's going to happen is I'm going to show you how the invoice looks like because it sends through an online bill link. So meaning to say, this is the link that you can also send via WhatsApp or message to your customers as well. And you're able to see that, hey, this is the $1 million that Janice needs to pay me. Okay, this is of course customizable. And Xero is because we are in the cloud, we are connected with a lot of payment gateway. So if you are using credit card, Xero is actually connected to PayPal, connected to Stripe. So this essentially means that, if you connect your PayPal and Stripe account to Xero, your customer is able to pay you through credit card and you can receive your money faster. You get paid faster, you have more cash flow to work on, and you are able to manage your cash flow better. Okay, so once Janice sees this invoice, click on this, pay now, and the next thing is going to happen is that when I go back to my Xero screen tomorrow, I'll probably see that this $1 million is already coming into my corporate bank account because Janice has paid me and I got more money to work on and I can reconcile it accordingly. Okay, something cool that I want to share with you is also why is it that some businesses, when they are not using their accounting software to do invoicing, you miss out on something called an invoice reminder, because what Xero has in play is that we have this thing called invoice reminder, where what happens is that when an invoice is overdue, when comes 10th of June where Janice has not paid me yet. So what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that an email is sent out to Janice every now and then to say that, hey, this invoice is 7 days overdue. Can you please pay me now? All right. Or this invoice is due in 1 day time. I want to make sure that I chase this. Chase in 1 day's time. This is due in 2 days time. Janice, can you start paying me? Okay, so this is the reminders that's generated by Xero to your customer. It helps you to chase payments because chasing payments is important, especially for very conservative Asian countries like ours. So you want to start chasing customer money so that you can get more cash flow to work on. Okay, so this is one cool feature. We take away the very difficult conversation that you have with your customers that, why is it that you're chasing me for money every time, all right? Always say that this is a system generated stuff. Let you blame Xero for something else here, okay? So this will help you to, manage the invoices. And of course, when Janice pay me, it's going to hit my bank account here. And if Jenny pay me through Euro, because whatever, so it pays me through my Euro WordFirst account, within the next hour, I'm able to see it here, and then I can do my reconcile accordingly. All right, so Stanley will probably be sharing with you how you can integrate WordFirst to Xero shortly. On this occasion, I'm just going to show you how it looks like when the transaction comes into Xero from a bank account or from WordFirst. So the bank transactions will come into Xero on the left-hand side here. So on the left-hand side, these are your bank transaction lines. All right, so these are my receipts or my spending. I can see that I have $6,187 coming from Whichway University. And then on the right-hand side here, these are transactions that I have from my Xero transactions. So I created an invoice or bills or expenses on Xero here. And what happens is that, remember the video or the animation that I showed you earlier where I print out my bank transactions, I compare it to my Excel sheet. Xero takes that away from you. What we does is that we put it side by side for a comparison here, and we flag out green for you if it's very close or a good fit. So on this occasion, the invoice number looks very similar. The amount is exactly the same. Xero asks you whether this is the right transaction. And if this is the right transaction, just a click of a button here. You don't need accounting background to know that to do this bookkeeping. So we recognize that this $6,000 has been received into your bank account. You You don't need not know your debit and credit. Xero does the double entries for you to post it for you in the background. At the same time, your financial reports are all updated for you in the background. So every time you receive a money, you can match it across to the invoices and bills that you created just with a click of a button. There are also different ways they can investigate and learn how you can reconcile different things. But I think on this occasion, I wouldn't show you in depth. But what I want to show you is that you can reconcile all the transactions that comes in day to day. Every hour, you get your transactions from WordPress. Every day to day, you get your bank transactions from DBS, OCBC coming into Xero. And this will mean that, I'm able to have updated financial reports. Every time I finish reconciliation, I will go to my financial reports here. All these reports are up to date, all right? So after I've done my reconciliation, if I want to see the 60 plus reports that I have on Xero here, I can see the profit and loss report on Xero, and this is updated as of this morning. So if I know my cash positions, I can do a lot of financial planning. I can manage my cash flow better. Okay, so and the good thing about Xero is that we also have a data recognition tool. So just now I was sharing with you a little bit about invoicing, right? So we also have this thing called let's say for example, you have the bills that you need to pay, your what I call that, the rental bills or utility bills. All these bills can be created on Xero as well. And what is very cool is we do have a module called HubDoc, which is actually a software that Xero acquires 2 years ago for 70 million. So we acquire HubDoc for 70 million, and HubDoc essentially is a data extraction, data recognition tool that it's built to recognize your bills, your transactions, your bills or your receipts. So what happens is that if you sign up for HubDoc, which is free for you once you're using Xero, you create an account for HubDoc, you're able to use your mobile phone to snap photo of the receipts or bills. And what happens is that Xero is able to recognize all these transactions and automatically post it to Xero. So I have a very quick illustration. Let me just show you a Singapore company that I have and how it looks like here. So I remember in April when I started working from home, actually March, when I first started working from home, what happens is that I don't have, because I just moved into my new place, I don't have a internet access. So I download this. I actually had this this invoice from Wi-Fi Buddy. So what happens is that I purchased and pocket Wi-Fi here. All right. So this corporate Wi-Fi is charging me $90, basically $9 a day. Okay. So I basically use HubDoc to snap photo of this bill. And what happens is that it's posted to Xero automatically, instantly. And Xero is able to recognize things like, hey, this is from you, Simply Unique. I think it's spelled a little bit wrongly, but it's fine. You just have to correct it. It recognized that this is a telephone internet bill. It recognized my 7% GST. The amount is automatically populated for me. And all I have to do is to really send this for approval or, approve this straight away. So once I approve it, I know that I need to start paying this $90 to Wi-Fi Buddy. And I manage my cash flow again on Xero. You need not, copy, have to manually put in all the entries anymore. Let the technology do it for you. Okay, so these are all cloud solutions built within Xero that for you to basically understand how you can actually manage your business better through paperless transactions here. All right, there are so many more modules that I basically would like to share with you. We do have a file inbox here that basically help you to store all your important documents, just like Dropbox. So this is actually a very good way for you to store your important documents. I wouldn't be able to share with you how, but essentially you can basically snap photo and put it here. And this will be an online storage for you. And you basically have all this through online cloud solution. Okay, so from here, I think due to the essence of time, I'm just going to jump back very quickly to my PowerPoint screen. Over here. So just to bring out, what we were looking at previously here, that, this is how an offline businesses are managing their finances, where they have paper receipts and everything else. And you realize that you don't get anything real time. Through Xero, for example, what you essentially get is that, we are revolutioning how you manage your finance here. You do your online invoicing on Xero. We are connected with payment gateways like PayPal, Stripe, in Singapore, Nets, eWay, and all these help you to collect your money better. You have your online connections with your DBS, UOB, HSBC Bank, WordPress, of course, and then get the real-time dashboard on your platform to know your finances. You are able to automate and see real-time financial reports as well. These reports help you to plan your business better, and of course, better access to fundings. Okay, and all this within Xero itself. And then from here, this is actually what I was mentioning to you Xero can't be like the bank where we help you to get paid faster, where you can get financing from the banks itself, especially during this very difficult position with COVID. But we want to make sure that you get paid faster, so you have more invoices you have basically more cash flow to work on. So through online invoicing, payment gateway, as well as online invoice reminders, we managed to reduce the debtor days by 46%. So this is something that you want to take note, because chasing money is important, managing your cash flow. So this is some of the banks that Xero partners with in Asia. I was mentioning the 4 banks in Singapore. Malaysia, we are also partnering with CIMB Bank as well. And then Hong Kong, of course, we have DBS, we have HSBC Bank and Hang Seng Bank working with us. You get these banks sending your bank transactions to Xero every morning, okay? And of course, HubDoc, which is something that we acquired 2 years ago for 70 million, and we are basically putting it to Xero users for free. So all you have to do is to use your mobile phone, snap photo of the receipts or invoices, or your invoices or bills. This will automatically be loaded to Xero, and you just have to check, eyeball it through, and then approve it straight away. The good thing about using Xero, first and foremost, of course, connectivity, right? You are able to connect with your stakeholders, your internal accountants. You're also able to connect with your Workforce account, your banks, for example. But think about it, not just that, we are also be able to connect it with 800 plus connected applications. So meaning to say, you are connected to your PayPal account if you require some payment gateway. You're connected with some HR software. You're connected to Expensify, Require Expenses app, and all these are platforms that can come together to help you to manage everything together. All right. I have a question here from Salva Raj here. Is it possible to backtrack bank statements? If so, how can you do so? This is a very good question, Salva Raj. So what happens is that if you have a bank transactions, all you have to do, is to upload your bank statements to Xero, just like how you upload for any bank, other banks as well. So if you are using banks like Standard Chartered Bank, for example, you can import your bank transactions to Xero. So that will be downloading your bank transaction from the bank, or in your case, download the backdated transactions from your bank and then upload it to Xero via CSV. Okay, do come to me. I'll be able to share with you how you can do so, a step-by-step guide that I can send you after the session. So back to Xero itself, essentially there is nothing to install on Xero. This is a cloud solution here. It's very similar to your Facebook, right? So you just have to create an account. You're able to use it for unlimited number of users. So all your not your customer, my bad. All your staff, all your business stakeholders, as well as internal, external accountants will be able to come in and help you. Xero, we are of course connected to 800 plus applications. These applications help you to make sure that no matter which industry you're at, whether you are running a trading business or a retail business, you are still able to manage this here. All right. And then of course, all the bank fee transactions on Xero. Let me see. I'll probably want to try to mute someone here. Done. Good. Okay. So yeah, and then we do have some online storage, which allows you to send your invoices and bills online. And what is very cool is we are always looking at a very competitive price plan on a $20 to $40 per month on Xero. So every month you're looking at $20 to $40 USD a month. This exposed and opposed to what I was thinking about last time when I was on my business. I always think that accounting software costs a few $1,000s, which is true. If you're using those desktop solutions, you are probably paying a few $1,000s for the accounting software. And the last thing I want as a small business is that I wouldn't know whether my business is able to survive or not, especially in the current situation. So what happens is that on Xero, you are only looking at the monthly subscription plan, just like any SaaS model. And then you are able to stop the subscription anytime as well. You're able to upgrade or downgrade the plan on Xero as well. Even for termination, you just have to serve a 1 month notice. So this is very straightforward. Business are very malleable when it comes to the current situation. It allows you to upgrade and downgrade the plans with looking at just a monthly fee of $20 to $40 a month. Okay, so I can basically share with you a little bit more. If you require a multi-currency plan, if you probably have Workforce Euro account, Workforce Canadian account, what you probably want to do is you will need the premium account, because the premium account comes with multi-currency, but it already gives you unlimited number of users, unlimited number of invoices and bills. And then the $30 plan gives you everything on Xero as well, except for multi-currency. So you don't get your multi-currency subscription, and basically you will handle probably just Singapore dollar, for example, if you're in Singapore. But that's only that's for $30 a month, unlimited number of users, unlimited number of transactions. A starter plan is just a very low volume one. It allows you to have 20 bank transactions. So if you have anything more, you'll probably be looking at standard or premium plan here. I have a very good question here from Lydia. So Lydia is asking me, hey, is this subjected to GST? So as of earlier this year in Singapore, what happens is that the government is deciding to charge, even for online services, the GST 7%. In the past, if it's a cloud solution, you don't have to pay for it. But right now, what happens is that the Singapore has been saying that you need to be charged for 7%. But the good news is Xero is absorbing it at the moment, so you don't have to pay GST if you're subscribing to Xero. All right, we absorb the 7% GST for you. Okay, I have another question from Sabrina here. So Sabrina is asking about tracking on online invoice, online expenses as well. Example, your monthly and yearly subscription fee, are they paid through PayPal or credit card? Yes, so I think you are talking about expenses module within Xero, Sabrina. So what happens is that we do have a separate module called Xero Expenses, where very similar to HubDoc, you're able to snap photo of a receipt for things that you want reimbursement. So you're paying through your own credit card, personal credit card, but you want to reimburse back to your company. So this is where Xero Expenses comes in, where you can snap photo of the receipts. Xero again will recognize where you spend it, when you spend it, how much you spend it, and then push it to Xero as well. So you're able to see the transaction here, you get the reimbursement better through Xero real time. So this is something that I'm happy to share more with you. So what's going to happen is that if you wish to learn more about Xero, we do have a product demo session that is held online every couple of times a month. So I think at the end of the session, we'll be sharing with everybody a little bit more about Xero, at the same time a link for you to register for product demo. That's when you'll probably be able to see the software better with all the different functions. At the same time, you will also be able to ask questions, very specific questions related to your company. Okay, so I have another question here from Lydia. Lydia is asking me, how come we cannot create transactions as expense claims through HubDoc? Any plans to improve on this? Actually, Lydia, you can. It's just that this will probably sit into Xero Expenses rather than HubDoc already. So HubDoc, think about HubDoc, it's not for expense claims, but for business usage. So this is actually meant for you to, your company expenses paid through your company card. And then Xero Expenses is a separate app within Xero. This will allow you to snap photo receipts as well, but this will actually be meant for you paying first through a personal card and then reimbursement shortly. So this is actually two functions within Xero that you probably want to look at. One is HubDoc for organization, one is Xero Expenses for personal reimbursement. Okay, I hope I answer your questions here. And then last but not least here, we are very happy to have a World First partnership starting this year. So what's going to happen is that we have this special pricing for World First customers only. So if you are planning to start using Xero in the month of May, we are extending a 50% off for Xero subscriptions for 3 months. So meaning to say you are looking at the premium plan for probably $20 USD per month for the next 3 months. And this will, with the usage of these promo codes from World First. All right, so so thank you Wolfers for having us today. And if, of course, at the end of the session, I'll be sharing with everybody here, the link for you to register my product demo. And if any questions related to Xero, feel free to send it to this email address here, and I will be able to address them shortly too. So I think with that, I will probably pass this back to, I have one more question from Savaraj, which was mentioning about OCBC plan here. I promised to give you an understanding on this question. So what Savaraj was asking is that OCBC is actually offering a 12 months free subscription on Xero. Any offer for DBS. So actually, what happens is that Xero is actually partnering with OCBC Bank in Singapore for this Start Digital program. So Start Digital is an initiative by IMDA, and through OCBC itself, if you're eligible for this grants from IMDA through OCBC, you will be able to enjoy free 12-month subscription. It's not exactly free, it's just that OCBC and IMDA is subsidizing it. All right. Currently, it's just OCBC, but I really do not rule out DBS coming into the picture. All right. So stay tuned. At the moment, really just OCBC, but we are already speaking with a couple of banks. Hopefully, it will be available for DBS customers soon. So I think I've answered most of the questions here. I will pass this back to Stanley, of course, to see whether he has anything to add on, at the same time to share with you how to integrate your WordFirst account to Xero.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Julian. I very appreciate you taking time off to actually run through the whole demo and introduction about Xero to WordFirst client. Appreciate that. So I hope all you guys find this fruitful and valuable. And especially if you're a WordFirst client, please take note of this special promo. Thanks once again, Xero, for offering this to our clients. So if you're interested in giving Xero a try, just drop Julian an email. His email address is on the screen right now. So what I'll do next is I'll also show you from WordFirst point of view, how if you are a WordFirst client, how do you actually connect your Xero account to WordFirst. So let me just share my screen. Can anyone see this screen? All good?
I can.
Okay, cool. Let me just quickly log in, then I'll show you how the interface look like. So if you're a WordFirst client, all you have to do is, you log into your WordFirst account. Okay, so once when you're in your WordFirst account, this is what you're looking at. So just to clarify, currently only the Word account users are integrated into Xero. So just make sure that you are the Word account user. So once you're in this Word account platform, it's very simple. All you need to do is go under settings. So under settings, you will see a connect accounts. So just click on that. And then yes, you will see Xero. So it's as simple as that. If you are unsure, you want to find out more, you can just simply click on this. They will actually direct you to our setup guide. So on this website, we will actually tell you there's a guide on how to actually sync step by step. There's a FAQ if you have any question. But of course, if you want to find out more about Xero, you also can contact Julian. So what you need to do is just click on connect to Xero here, consent. And then what's going to happen is actually it's going to direct you to your Xero platform. Then just log in using your credentials that you sign up with Xero, and then that's it. So on your Xero dashboard, I believe Julian previously showed you how it look like once it's synced. You'll get to see all your multi-currency bank accounts details as well. If there's any funds coming in, it's get refreshed every hour. So it's as simple as that. It's basically 3 steps through your online platform. Go to settings, connect accounts, connect to Xero, and that's it. So it's as easy as that for those WordFirst user looking to connect. So if not, I wanted to actually move on to Q&A, but I believe Julian answered most of it. There's just some 1 or 2 questions that I think is still unanswered. So let me just stop share, and then I'll just move straight to Q&A. So for those that have other questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A box. We actually address those. So I think we have a question in the chat box from Michael. So he is asking if we want to differentiate different incoming payments from sales through different web store, should we set Xero to integrate at different store payments or gateway or at WordFirst? Julian, you want to take that?
Sure. So I'm trying to understand. So I would suppose that, Michael, you're talking about having different sales channel. So some of them could be web store. I would suppose that e-commerce platform. So maybe like a Shopify account, your Amazon account, and everything else. So you have different sales coming into Xero. Your question is, do you integrate with different store payment gateway? It shouldn't be the store payment gateway in this case. It will be your store's point of sale software, for example. So you can actually be integrated with Amazon, for example. Xero allows you to be integrated with Amazon. You can connect to WooCommerce. You can be connected to Shopify as well. So all these are actually e-commerce platform that you can connect it. And once you connect it, essentially what it means is that all your sales transactions will flow to Xero automatically. When it comes to payment now, so it depends on how your customer is paying you for this transactions. So if a customer is paying you through, credit cards probably, and maybe credit cards like Visa or Mastercard, for example, it should hit your point of sale software, which is Shopify and at the same time, it will also reflect in your bank account. If you are actually putting your WordFirst account there, then yes, your WordFirst transactions will also come in as well. So think about it. Remember the bank reconciliation page that I was sharing earlier. So basically, on the left-hand side, you have the bank transaction lines. On the right-hand side, you have the invoices and expenses or bills in Xero. So what essentially means is that if you are using different e-commerce platforms, so your Shopify and your WooCommerce platform, all these transactions will come in on the right-hand side, and then your payment gateway, your payments through Mastercard, Visa, or WordFirst will come in on the left-hand side. So that's when you do the reconciliation accordingly. So both will come into Xero.
Next thing is we did up a blog that actually we got all our partners to share about what's the latest updates and what's the any package they are offering for COVID-19 support. And Xero is one of them as well. And we have other partners on board. So we actually like to share this across the network. So you just need to scan this QR code. You'll be directed to the COVID-19 support blog. There will be all the different partners that we have gathered all this while with their packages and updates. We will be doing updates as and when there will be as and when there's new packages. So hope this is something useful for you guys. And lastly, also we want to hear from you guys what other topics or what other partners you want to hear next. For example, like Xero is one of the partners we brought for this webinar. If there's any like other partners or topics you want to hear, just leave that theme or topic in the chat box before you leave so that we can actually arrange for that next. So lastly, I'm going to actually have a quick poll before you leave to understand better like how we did in this webinar. So if you could just help us do up this poll that's going to pop up in your screen next. We appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, it's up. So just help us with this poll. And lastly, thanks a lot, Julian, again, for taking time off to share with us. I really appreciate it.
No, it's actually my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. So yeah, Julian.
Yeah. Now, I just also want to thank Joan as well as Polly as well to make this possible.
For those that are still doing the poll, it's on the top corner. I'll leave this screen up. So in case if you guys you actually missed the screen earlier to scan this QR code, you still can scan this. So you can actually take a look at the support that we have provided from our partners for you guys.
So I think Felix and Sabrina pointed out that for the first poll, there's no options for them to say none of the above. So
that's great.
Yeah. But I'm glad that everyone can pay attention to it. And sound was clear and all.
Yeah. So no worries. I mean, if the question, I think we left out no problem. But let's say even you think there's no problem, no worries. Just click. You can just select one of them. Then just leave a note in the chat and let us know. Congrats on this from start to end. That's great. So I hope you find this webinar so useful. We're going to do much more of these. So as mentioned, do leave in the chat box what topics or like what partners you're interested to listen to. So WordFirst can actually get them onto our webinars and share more of such content.
So I think after the session itself, I will be sending an email to everybody who has used that email address that you use to register for this webinar. So that will include like how you can basically learn more about Xero through a full demo, as well as if you're thinking of usage of any grants that's available in your market, feel free to let me know as well. So I'll put it in the email for everybody. So meanwhile, please check the inbox that you use, the email that you use to register for this session.
Okay, yeah. So I guess we have most of them. We have the poll all in. So thanks again once all of you. So thanks, Julian. Hope you guys have a great week ahead. So that's all from us. Thanks.
Hey, thanks, Stanley.
Thanks, Julian.